Good morning, all. My name is Suzette Telli, and I'm the statewide services coordinator for the Tennessee Higher Education Commission. Today, we're here to talk about the Tennessee Electronic Transcript Exchange and how to transform your transcripts using the exchange. I would like to introduce Angela Tobin. She's a key account manager for the National Student Clearinghouse. They're our partner in this endeavor, and we've worked together now for, I believe it's 9 years, going on 10 years with the Clearinghouse as a host for the Transcript Center. So let me turn it over to Angela.
Hi everyone. Again, my name is Angela Tobin. I'm with the National Student Clearinghouse. I've been in the Clearinghouse for a little bit over 9 years, and I've had the privilege of working with you all in Tennessee. And I'm going to start to talk about an overview of the Transcript Center and kind of go deep into it also. So we have a lot of stuff we're going to be covering today, but we'll make it go. We'll make it go pretty quickly. I want to go over what the Transcript Center is to start off with, and then the implementation overview, testing, production, live, and then actually logging into the Transcript Center. How to send those transcripts out for your students, retrieving those transcripts, notification, and then if any issues, where to go. And then lastly, what your students are going to see. So at that point, we're going to go to the staging site to see what your students see when they order the transcripts. And again, like Suzette said, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, and I'm happy to answer all of them. So this is the general picture of what the Transcript Center is. You guys at the high school district will use your SIS system, Student Information System, send in your data file, upload it to the FTP account, which we provide you the username and password, and the data gets loaded into the Transcript Center. That information and then sent to different places. The high school alums can come and use order@transcript.com and get their transcripts from there. It can be sent over to the Transcript Education, the Tennessee Higher Education Commission for e-grants. The staff, you guys can request transcripts or send them. And then, of course, sending them to your higher education schools and organizations. So I know this is a pretty weird picture. Do you have any questions about how the Transcript Center works in general? Okay, awesome. So right here, these are the different stages. You sign the agreement, you go to testing, activation, and then you go live. So whoever, what stage you all guys in, we're going to touch on each stage right now. If you guys need an agreement, at the very end, we'll talk about where you're going to go to get that agreement. And again, like Suzette mentioned, this is a free service to everyone. So we are here to help you through the entire process. We have our own implementation team. And then once you go live, we have a customer care team to assist you through that process also. So first, testing. You'll get an email for implementation@studentclearinghouse.org, and then you'll have your staging URLs, and you see there's several different stages here. You have your FTP for staging, which is that secure portal. I have to say it's a secure Dropbox, basically. You take the files, go there, and we take it to the Transcript Center. You create your ZAP file. We also can do PEX files too, so either one. Goes to the FTP, make sure there's no errors, and goes uploaded. Boom. We're able to show you how the transcripts look in the PDF format. We provide you feedback, and then we fix any issues. Who's in the testing stage right now? Is anyone in that testing phase, or are we all in the implementation, in the staging or active phase right now? Okay, so I guess we're all in the production and the live phase, which is awesome, because testing is one of the hardest parts to get out of. So if you guys are already out of the testing phase, you guys are golden.
Well, Angela, I think it's going to be kind of a mix. So I think we have a lot of folks on here who are just now hearing about the Transcript Exchange. So we have a lot, we have a lot who are potential new users, who just really want to hear This slide is good because it kind of shows them sort of the steps to go through when they do that actual doing it.
Great. Well, like I said, it looks like a lot of steps, but actually not that many steps, because when you do the testing, you're going to just mimic in production. And the reason we have all these steps is because we want to make sure your transcripts are perfect when they go to the students. So right now, again, I want to make sure you guys understand we have an implementation specialist to walk you through this entire section, everything. So once you guys get to testing, you're going to go to activation. Again, you see very similar steps. The only difference, instead of doing the staging FTP, it's going to be the real FTP, and that's when you're going to upload your data. So if you think about it, you're brand new to the Transcript Center, you sign that agreement, you go to testing. You make sure your file goes through, no errors. Then afterwards, it goes to, you pass testing. You go to activation, which is where you are right now in this slide. You see everything, the ZAP file is uploaded, you're good to go. Boom, no errors. Now you go live. And
Angela,
you see, yes.
sorry, I do have a question. So if somebody already has a National Student Clearinghouse account, is this a separate account or can we use our existing account? I'm assuming maybe they mean Student Tracker or something like that.
Yeah, so two separate accounts. So you have two different FTP logins. So Student Tracker and the Transcript Center are two different products. So we have two different FTP logins. And like your Student Tracker, you have your fee for that. The Transcript Center is free. And again, I'm not sure if anyone here is in that activation stage, but if you guys are, congratulations. Testing is the hardest part to get out of. So and again, we're happy to help you go back. I know sometimes we have questions of people, they want to sign for the Transcript Center and they realize they already have a contract. Someone was there who signed up for it and then they left, never told anyone. Turnover happens. And so we can meet you where you are at, basically. You might have been in activation, but then you realize, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm brand new. We'll move you back to testing. And then to make sure you know how to do everything correctly. And then we'll move you back to activation. These are very fluid. You're not just stuck in whatever stage you're in. And depending on your timeline, we can get this done as fast as you need to. And as eager as you guys are, we can get you guys, we're on your time schedule, basically. And this is when you go live. You'll receive your activation emails. You'll request additional users. You'll have training tutorials. We have our K20 email address that you can email for those training tutorials and those one-on-one webinars. And then you have your ordering link. So later on, I'll go over some best practices about how to use the Transcript Center. But first, I want to show you guys what the Transcript Center is. So here's your login page right here. Everyone will have usually your login is your email without the at whatever it is. So mine is Tobin. This is my last name. Instead of Tobin at studentclearinghouse.org, it's just Tobin. And you have your password. Here is your main page. Oh, sorry. Here's your main page. You see there's a lot of stuff going on here. You have your first section, your partner institution data users, student data, transactions, transports, all this information right here. Depending on what you're trying to do is where you're going to go. So say you want to just fulfill orders for your Transcript Center. You go here, transcript orders. So I'm not sure how familiar we are, but the Transcript Center is a way for you to fulfill your orders that your students have requested. Also, you can request your own orders on the spot. So hypothetically, you're a guidance counselor and someone comes in, Katie wants to send her transcript to a school right then and there. You can go in here, go in the Transcript Center and submit her transcript to that school ASAP. Or she can go to the free ordertranscript.com, order it on her own, and then you'll receive an email saying, hey, you have a notification, please fulfill Katie's order. So it can go both ways. So you can do it on behalf of her, or you can do it with her own request. Either way, it's free. Do you have any questions about that? Kind of that's a lot to digest sometimes. We're good? Okay, awesome. So right here in this section, in that section, we'll talk about the layout of the process of sending transcripts via the Transcript Center. So you see right here, I love this page, honestly, because this top 10 student document destination is really helpful. You can see basically where your students are going. So the quick way to say, okay, we have, 5 institutions that our kids are going to. Maybe we can bring them in for a college fair because our students are going there. Right here, you can see you're requiring attention. We try to make it as easy for you all to see what needs to be done. Over here, student documents. So say you need someone to send a recommendation letter that is not a transcript, but you need to send that recommendation letter. You can do that too via the Transcript Center also. Manage student documents right here and request a student document. Do you have any questions regarding this slide?
So we do have one question is, will the notifications go to each administrator registered?
Yes. So that's why we try to, good practice us to have 5-6 people on that email serve because it's a lot. You'll get a lot of emails. So maybe only have 1 or 2 people who are responsible for that. But yes, everyone who's on that notification list basically will receive that email letting them know there's an action item. And depending on what permissions you have. So depending on your permissions, it's who would be activated to have those email addresses. Yes, I see someone said they will upload shot records. Yes, you can do that because it's under a student document. So I'm going to show you when you send a transcript, you can also send in a additional form. And I'll show you how to do that. And then when you submit that additional form, you can submit the shot records or whatever you guys want to send in additionally.
Yeah, I know we have some schools who will also send the copy of the ACT scores along as an additional attachment,
Right.
and some colleges are willing to take it that way. Others want it directly from ACT, but that's one idea of an attachment you might want to include. I do have another question here. After we upload our transcripts and get no errors in testing, how do we verify the transcripts are correct?
Yes. So after testing, we're going to continue to production. In production, you'll actually see a layout of your transcript, a PDF version of it. And you can see if that looks like the way it should look, basically. If there's any issues, anything looks weird, that's when we're in production, it's not live yet. And we can fix it, figure out what's going on with your student information system, how they're not loading correctly to the Transcript Center, and we can tweak it there. So by the time you go live, everything's perfect. So there's 3 basically: testing, production, and then going live. And if you want, sometimes I tell people this, like your implementation specialist, when you work with them, email them a dummy copy of a transcript. Tell them this is what it should look like, basically. And that way you guys are all on the same page of what you guys should be working towards. You guys are so engaged. I love it. Do you have any other questions? Okay, great. So once you push the button to see your action items, these are all your students. So say you wanted to see Ryan Banks, you're going to type in his name, search by him, date of birth. This is how you make sure it's the right student. You can see your add attachments. This is the attachment you're talking about. You want to load the attachments of those shop records, of their ACT scores, of a recommendation letter, whatever you want to do. You then add that attachment to their transcript, and then you just send it out. So you will just upload right here. Select recipients, you select what school it's going to, confirm, submit, done. Right here, if you want to upload a separate document we were talking about, here you can do it. I'm talking about teacher evaluation, maybe explanation of change of the grade, whatever you want to submit in addition to the transcript, you can do it right here. Is this helping with anyone who doesn't know how that transcript center works? I saw a question pop up, Suzette, but I couldn't read it. Do you have the question?
So when we send the student information to the transcript center, can we just upload it as one solid PDF, or does it need to be by individual student?
You can send it as a PDF. So the good thing about the transcript center is that when you submit that data file, like we do in production and testing, whatever, if there's a couple of students that you forgot to add, you can submit them via PDF. You can just upload the transcript and it will save it in the transcript center. That way you don't have to keep uploading that same student again and again and again. So say Brittany came into your school, half the middle semester, you want to add her transcript to the transcript center, you just upload it there. You want to add her shop records, you just upload it with a PDF to the transcript center, and now it's there safely. And whenever you guys need to find it and use it, it's already in the portal.
But your initial upload, if you're asking like if all of your student transcripts will be PDF, the answer would be no, correct? They would have to be THEC format.
Exactly, THEC or PEX. Yeah, exactly.
And that's something I think your implementation person would work with you on to help with the formatting. And we've actually worked with all 5 of the state SIS systems, that are promoted by the state. So we have apps for all of those to be able to use with the transcript center. Let's see.
Actually, an export for the Power School, EduPoint, Skyward, Follett. This is another one, and we have exports for them for the transcript center, so it makes it pretty easy in that way.
Okay. We have one other question. Can you speak to the billing section? Can we charge for alumni transcripts as we currently do?
So, yeah, it's a free service. That's the best way to kind of answer that question. This is a service that your state is giving to all of its students. Basically, we know that times are hard, and definitely students right out of high school, they don't have a ton of money, and we want to make sure that it's the equity. Everyone can get into college and not having to worry about paying for transcripts, and that's why we don't charge for them. It's being paid for by the state, basically.
Okay, that's no more questions.
Okay, perfect. So, any additional notes right here is that, again, the transcript can be ordered, like I mentioned, by the student, and I'll show you how the students do that, or by you all in the office. And again, this is the K20 transcript email I was talking to you all about. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to them. That's basically our customer service just for the transcript center. Now you'll have your own individual implementation specialist, Micah, or you'll have Laura, Michelle. They're all great, and also you have me to talk to if you have any questions with them. They are the specialists with getting through the implementation process, but I'm happy to work with them I was an implementation at one time in my career, so I know this how to do that section of the world also. So I'm happy to help. Do we have any questions about the timeline? I know a lot of people always ask about that. Because that's very we work on your speed. We know you have a lot of other projects going on, and we want to make sure that we're not causing any issues for you guys. So if you guys want to implement this in like a month, we are there to push it through as fast as you want. If you're like, okay, this is a project we want to do on the side, we're just work on it as we have time, we'll work with you guys at that pace. We are here for your pace to help you guys get through this implementation process. And right here, this is a really nice feature of the Transcript Center that you guys get notifications. The students and the recipient user, school users, will let you guys know that they will receive notification that the transcript has been delivered, and that way the students are not coming back to you guys saying, "Hey, Miss Jones, did you see my transcript?" Like, it's already there. They get their automatic email. They can check it every day if they want to see if the college opened it. They don't have to worry about coming to you guys every day asking about the transcript and update. That's something hopefully we can take off your plate to get less questions about that information. And also, I love the fact that they also receive a notification when it's downloaded and viewed. And that way you can go back to the college and say, hey, I got a notification saying that it was viewed. Where's the status of my application, basically? Do you have any questions about how the notification system works? Okay, great. So like I mentioned, best practices right here. Log in once daily to see if you have any transcript orders. I mean, of course, it's based off of your student population. If you have a small school of 100 graduates, 50 graduates, you don't need to log in every day to see if they're requesting transcripts. Now, if you have a school with 3,000 graduates, and I live in the DC metro area, so some schools are that big actually, and then you probably want to log in every day to see if someone requested a transcript or not. And that way you can not get behind, or your students can be, get those transcripts sent to their school as fast as possible. Because once they leave you guys, you want them to go to college, fly be free, and you help them get through the next part of their life. Okay, again, right here's the information to go to the transcript center at studentclearinghouse.org. And now we're going to stop sharing this screen. I'm going to take us to the next screen. Yes,
can we go back? Sorry, can we go back to that screen that you were holding on? Not the last one, but the one right before that.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to share the screen back again. This one?
Yes. So one user per user account. I just wanted to clarify, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but they'll have basically like one administrator of the account, but they can have as many users as they want, correct?
Yes, exactly. The reason we say that the best practice is so that you don't have, too many user administrators who are trying to give different permissions to different people. It gets confusing that way. But yes, if you have a school district and you have, 5-6 people under you who are the ones doing the work, feel free to have 5 people doing that. You can have as many users as you guys need. That's completely fine. And again, it's free. It's not going to cost you anything extra to have multiple users.
Yes. And as it says right there, typically our schools do upload 3 times a year. So beginning of fall, beginning of spring, and then right after graduation for those final transcripts. I do have a couple of questions that came in. How do we confirm the identity of the person making the request, like i.e. FERPA?
Okay, so if someone is ordering a transcript for them, requesting a transcript for themselves. Like if Katie goes to ordertranscript.com, how do we confirm if that's her actually doing the ordering?
I believe so.
What? Okay, perfect. When I go through the portal of what a student does, you'll see how we confirm it.
Okay. And then one other question is, okay, so this one is a specific situation, but somebody who went through last year but had some problems on their end with their transcripts, and they're asking if they can upload the 22, 23 transcripts now. So it's kind of like a historical thing. So they would have them in there to be able to go back and access.
Yes, you can submit historical ones. That's completely fine. People do that all the time because they don't want to deal with the alums coming back saying, "Hey, I graduated 5 years ago. Can you give my transcript?" You just have it on the website. Go to this website, and it's already there. So that's completely fine to upload historical data. If it makes your life easier, we're happy to help.
Okay. And then one other question, to start the process or speak to someone about registering for the program, do they contact that K-20 transcripts email, or is there a phone number to use?
You will actually contact me directly. And I can actually put my or maybe Suzette, can you put my email address in the chat if that's okay?
It's at studentclearinghouse.org, is that correct?
Yeah. Tobin at studentclearinghouse.org. And that way you guys can just email me directly and I can get you guys a contract and get started. Okay, no more questions? Awesome. We're going to stop. I want to get you this screen out.
While you're switching, Angela, I had one other question come in. Will they need a new contract each year?
No, that's a good thing. You just get one contract and you're good to go then. So there's no need to you can get a new contract if you want to, change the something. Maybe you need to have your new principal sign off. That's your choice. But if you need to change users, you do not need a new contract to change users. You can just do that on your end, or you can ask us to help you with that. I'm sorry. So this is staging, of course, but the website is ordertranscript.com, and you would go and put that link on your website to tell the students to go here. You will go to here. So there's two parts. There's a start, so a brand new transcript, or you can click on enter transcript tracking number. So say Katie came to your office, she wants you to, request a transcript for her. Here's her tracking number. Instead of her coming to ask you where the transcript is, she'll come here and so a tracking number, and it'll tell her exactly where she is in the process of her transcript. If you guys have sent it off, if it's been opened, if it's been delivered at all, she'll see that herself. We'll start right here. And so right here, we're going to click the sender. So, high school. Here. And this is how we're going to basically identify right here, entry student identifying information. So this is how you're going to know if the student is actually the student. Because this information, no one else should know about them. No one else should know their last four SSN or the student number. That should be, obviously private information for them to only know.
And Angela, what does it mean by student number? Would that be something the school would set up, or?
Yes, a student ID number.
Okay, gotcha. And we do have, in Tennessee, we do have state student ID numbers, so that might be something they could use.
Okay, perfect. And you know, you can use, like I said, they don't know their student ID number. They can use the last 4 digits of their SSN.
Yeah,
So it's
students usually know those numbers. The counselors would, but probably the students would want to use the last four of their social.
exactly. Okay. Right here, you got sign here. Again, this is another thing. Legally, I'm saying this is me. Again, right here, I'm saying that I'm over 18. If they're not over 18, the parent can order on behalf of them. So we have that taken care of for either way. You can see right here, they want to hold to the end of the term. To say they're ordering the transcript early, you can hold it or you can do it immediately. And let's next. Okay. Right here, select recipient. So we got to figure out what school we want to go to. So here, select right here. This is one of the schools they want to send to. They can submit to as many schools as they want. So I'm going to send it to this school, this school. You know, no big deal. It's, as you see right here, the pricing is straight. And to a message, so you can say, you know, please send, if I can spell, sorry. I don't know. And you will see that message when you get the request. I'll put in my phone number, my email address. Okay. So. That's all right here. That's what this is what your students will be doing. How easy that is.
All right. So we've actually had several questions come in. Let me go
Oh,
back.
great.
Are transcripts private until we verify and make them public?
Yes. So I want to make sure I understand the question. So when they're in the transcript center, only the people who are authorized users can see them. And then when you send it off to the student, then it's, I guess, public, but it's not public, it's private because it's going to that student directly.
Correct.
And
So no student information is ever going to show up on that orderatranscript.com. That's just where a student would go to order their transcripts to be
right,
and
right.
some schools still use the old, you know, if you in your office use like the paper form where students come in and sign to request it, some schools still do that. But just order a transcript is just another way that they can do it online where they don't have to.
Exactly. Because if Katie wants to come in and do it in person, that's completely fine because you can order the transcript on behalf of her. So when you're in the office, she can sit there and you can go in the transcript center yourself, click her name and send it off. And there's no need to go to ordertranscript.com. This is just for people who want to do it online, basically.
Okay. And this is a good question. I hadn't thought of this one before. We don't use social security numbers in our system, meaning that they won't be on the transcripts. Where is the last 4 data pulled from if it's not on the transcript?
That's a really good question.
I know. I've never thought of it. That's a very good question. Use that student ID number.
Yeah, we always, I guess you have to use a student ID. If they don't know it, they can always, I guess, email you guys and say, hi, can I have my student ID number? Then they can do it that way. But if they don't have the SSN on the transcript, there's no way for it to register to the system. So you will have to you will have to use a student ID then. So that's the only, I guess, the only workaround for not using it. I'm not sure how many of you guys do not use SSNs or the transcripts. I don't know. I'm from Maryland. I live in Virginia now, and we always use SSNs. So every state's different. I don't know. But for you guys, you will have to use a student ID then.
Yeah. In Tennessee, more and more schools are moving away from using the student or the social security numbers. So that might be something, for us to think about down the road.
Yeah, definitely.
Another question, to clarify, was it mentioned that students must be 18 or older to request their own transcripts?
Yes. So if they, for the signing off saying that they're 18 years, or the parents can sign that that form, that box that I signed, basically saying that I am who I am, I'm allowing notifications, I'm over 18. The parent can sign that form. If they are under 18, they can still request it themselves. They just can't sign that box. The parents are signing basically on behalf of them.
Okay. Somebody suggested that they could use the lunch number, which students know. I don't know if that's something specific to a particular school or if maybe everybody has a number like that.
That's a good idea, because it was whatever on your transcript. So if you have that student ID number as their lunch number, then you can have that on the transcript, and then they know it, and then they can pull up that way. That's a great idea.
Okay, that's all the questions for now.
Oh, great. Well, this is actually I just got the notification from in my email, so I'm going to and all it says is let me pull it up and share it with you guys. Stop sharing this screen and share this screen. And this is the notification I got right here. This is what your students will get.
Okay. Yeah, I see that tracking number on there that they could use if they wanted to track their transcripts.
Yep, and then you just go back to the website and do that same tracking.
And I do know counselors who they'll have a college tell them that they didn't receive a transcript, and the counselor will pull up their emails and say, oh, well, I got a verification that it went. So, you might need to look again.
Exactly.
I do have a couple more questions. How far back can historical data be uploaded? Is there a practical limit?
No, there's no limit.
So they could go back years and years and years and upload all of those classes.
Yes, that's completely fine, because those students will just come to the transcript center, order, and if it's, as long as you're fulfilling it, they can get those transcripts.
And they, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but once a class graduates, they're sort of moved into a different place, right? Like archive webinars as opposed to like active.
Exactly.
So you would go to archive to get those transcripts, whereas the current class would be working in the active system.
You got it, exactly.
Is the order a transcript for students who have already graduated or current students?
Oh, it's for everyone. Anyone can use that order a transcript website. I'm not sure if you saw if I went too fast, but let me go back to that staging site. I want to pull up again. There's actually a section that says, are you a current student, or are you like a new student? Let me pull that up. I want to show you guys exactly what it says. But I have 3 screens, so if I'm like bobbing my head everywhere. That's what I'm doing. I love these questions. Right here. I'm going to share my screen again. Right here. Enrolled in previous academic year or enrolled in the 2023-2024 academic year. So you just click on the archive students will just pick on this one.
So then that would be like if you were an alum of the school wanting to request a transcript after you graduated, that's what you would check.
Right. And then here, this is what you're talking about right here. That I hereby certify that I'm either a student that is at least 18 or the parent legal guardian of a student under the age of 18. That I'm placing a transcript order on behalf of my own dependent's transcript. So that's the information, that the legal thing that we have right here.
And I will share that we have like all of the LGI institutions in the state, all the community colleges, all the TCATs are all set up as receivers of transcripts for us. There are a couple of private colleges that aren't, but most of the private colleges are set up as users or receivers. But even if your student wants to send it to an out-of-state school that's not part of our network, then they can do that as well. The Clearinghouse will actually print and send those transcripts for them, again, at no cost to the student.
Yeah, or you could go through the THEC, which is our own separate platform. We can send it via THEC, which is automatically in a PDF. But like Suzette says, they don't use us for THEC or anything, then we can always print it and send it to them via good old snail mail.
Okay, so if we have any final questions, we'll wait a second. So let's quickly just kind of to recap. Let's go back through. So the stages would be they would contact you about getting a user agreement or a contract.
Mm-hmm.
They would talk to an implementation person, correct, from the clearinghouse, who would help
Yes.
them with formatting their files.
Mm-hmm.
I find it works really well when a school has someone at the district level who works with the SIS all the time. And that's kind of the person who creates those files. And then the people at the high school level are the actual users of the system, like sending and receiving the transcripts. That's not necessary. I mean, I've had lots of counselors who've done it themselves, but I think that makes it go a lot smoother. Would you agree with that?
Exactly. No, that's completely correct.
So yeah, if you're interested in this and you have someone at your district or at your school who's kind of that SIS point person, I would definitely get them involved early on and maybe make them the administrator that would be doing those FTP uploads of transcripts and leaving you to do the day-to-day sending and receiving of transcripts.
I completely agree on that. And that is where it's centralized also.
And then within the testing, so they would go through their first in staging, correct? So they're doing testing, they're making sure everything is formatted correctly. They then move into production, they do more testing with those same transcripts, really. And then only if you're sure everything is perfect, then it moves into active live production.
Exactly. And then once you're live, you're in the transcript center and you're, sending out the transcripts to your students, requesting them on behalf of your students, fulfilling the orders. And then say you have a new guidance counselor who comes on your team, then you would just sit there and have that person be added as a user. You can do that yourself. The administrator can add that person themselves, or you can email us at K20 and we can add that person for you.
Well, I don't have any other questions. I do want to tell you it's really a great system. It's kind of one of the best kept secrets that we have in Tennessee. We're not intending to keep it secret. We want to have more users because it is. I mean, we always say it's free, it's fast, it's secure, and it works. The schools that use it love it, and they tell us it's taken so much off of their plates. It's saved them money because, you know, they're no longer having to pay postage and print off all those transcripts and mail them. So it really is. It's a time saver and a cost saver.
But oh, good. Thank you so much, Micah. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, this is free, and the great thing about it is that you know, your students appreciate it too. They can get those transcripts sent faster. They can get into college faster and move on, and it just makes everyone. It's there for the students. It's there for you guys. It's there for the colleges. It's everyone wins in this.
All right. So next steps, Angela, would that be to email you if they're interested in signing a user agreement to begin the process?
Yes, and if you're already in the phases, but say you haven't touched your account in a year or something like that, you want to be re-engaged, email me and I'll set you out with an implementation specialist to reach back out to you and get you back on the wagon.
And then would you say the person who needs to sign that contract, is that typically like the principal of the school or something like that?
Yeah, usually the principal, or if it's a district level, maybe the superintendent.
Okay. Okay. I don't see any final questions. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.
Awesome.